Hello, amigos. Happy Wednesday, December 1st. Welcome to December, guys. How are you? Thank you for joining me on my Facebook page. My name is Raul Mira, and I am here to share with you the power of gratitude, right? And I came up with this topic yesterday in our talks. So I was like, you know what? Let me go and talk about this very amazing, important thing. As you guys know, as a reminder, visit my website, winwiththecoach.com, so you can see what I'm all about. And if you guys have any questions, please reach out to me via Messenger, and I will be happy to answer. So, drinking a little coffee, make sure I can storm through the last couple of hours of the night. Just got done doing some homework with the boys, clean up a little bit, getting some clothes ready for tomorrow. And now I'm going to spend some time with you guys. So we're going to be talking about gratitude. Gratitude has served an amazing purpose in my life. Putting it simple, gratitude is one of the most important ingredients in life. Yesterday we were talking about how to get what you want in life, and we spoke about being grateful. That gratitude plays a big role on getting those things you want. Breaking it down, gratitude plays a huge role in you being able to actually keep what you already have, which is kind of crazy, right? And in order for you to get more, you need gratitude as well. And gratitude is a great thing that you can use to manifest and to bring those things that you are working for, those things that you're putting on your vision board, those things that you are aspiring for, your goals. You use gratitude, and if you're able to be grateful for those things in advance, I am telling you, you're going to see the miracles behind the power of gratitude. It's super important. One thing to remember is that if something's not going wrong, if something's not going right in life in any category, doesn't matter, whatever it might be, if something is just not working out, there's most likely a lack of gratitude there. So that's something to pay attention to. Something's not working out in a relationship, a job, or something. There's just something we're missing, and that is we're not able to see why we should be grateful about this. That's super important. That's super key. Hate your relationship, something's not working out. We're not being grateful. So one thing that you can do to be proactive, right? One thing you can do to actually take control of your life is to be grateful. For example, if you have issues in your relationship, be grateful. Try to think of all the reasons why you need to be grateful about this relationship. What have been all the benefits, right? And then, what are the areas you want them to get better? Hey, start being grateful for those things being fixed. Try it out. What do you have to lose? But let me give you guys an example of how we're able to, how this works, right? The science behind this, and how we're able to apply it to what I'm telling you. Let me give you a good example. So, for example, we have to pay money and spend money on things in life, right? For things that we need or that we want, right? For example, we need power, right? Water and power. So what do? We pay a bill. So we are paying a price for the water and power. What happens to a lot of people, or most of us, right? When we need to spend some money, let's just say if it's a couple of $100 or an unexpected bill, or one of those bills that we're like, oh my God, here goes my money. I gotta pay the rent, right? And it's usually a big amount of money, right? So it kind of hurts. It bothers you, right? Well, what would you do? Think of it this way. What would you do with all that money if you didn't have to spend it, right? You can use it for something else, right? Invest it, save it, go on vacation, buy yourself that's something that you want, right? So we spend our money on a service. So we hardly ever think about the service that we're getting, right? Like, for example, you pay for your cable, or you pay for cable's a luxury. So let's think of it this way. You pay for your internet, right? Internet is super important. Let's say you work, you have to do some work. You need it for your computer, your tablet, for everything, right? Streaming, your phone, whatever. So we need internet. So we pay for it. What happens when that bill comes around? Oh man, here we go. Another bill. Right? We gotta pay the bill. But we don't think about the fact that you paid to get something back. A perfect example is rent. A couple thousand, couple hundred, whatever it may be. You have to pay your rent. We forget to think that, man, here goes the rent again. The rent taking our money, right? The reason why we're broke. Well, Do you rather live under a bridge in the outside, right? I don't know. In the alleyway? I don't know. Where would you like to live? Right? If you don't want to pay rent, where are you going to live? So we are hardly grateful for the things that we get in return of the money we pay, right? So this is a great exercise that you can use to train yourself to start being grateful. You start making a list of all the things, all the services, all the bills you have to pay, and you start being grateful for those things that you are getting in return. Rent, hey, I'm getting a place to live. The cable, the internet, hey, I'm getting entertainment and I'm getting internet, which is so important in the world we live in, right? You're paying your light bill. Well, we need light, right? We're not going to be able to live in candlelight. So those things are super important. Your phone bill, right? Things that we use, right? And there's also those luxuries. Hey, you know what? I just dropped a couple $100 on Disneyland or vacation or Universal. Well, did you have a good time? Were you able to experience something magical? Were you able to go and spend time with the family, see your kids' smiles? Everything costs money, right? So we have to be grateful for what we get in return. Those are services that we pay for, right? So that's how gratitude works. When you are noticing the things that you are getting, you're gonna start being grateful. When you are grateful for your relationship, right, you're gonna be happy in your relationship. When you start being grateful for those things that you're working on, those goals that you have, you're gonna start attracting them because you're actually feeling the gratitude for those things, and that is the magical thing. So I dare you guys to really take into action and make a really short list if you have to, just a couple of things that you want to get, right? Some things that are very possible, some things you're working on right now, some things that are bigger. It's fine. Think big, right? Think big. So write those things out for yourself and be grateful for them every day. I dare you guys to be grateful for them every day, and you're gonna start seeing how these things are gonna work out and manifest themselves. Now, if you don't believe me, let me tell you guys a little bit about my story and where I started being, what do you call it? What I always talk about, intentional, right? Purposeful on gratitude, on the topic of gratitude, because I feel that I've always been a grateful person in general. But guess what? The reason why I hit bottom and the reason why my life was failing, I was failing myself and everybody around me that I loved, is because I didn't appreciate what I have. That's a lack of gratitude. When we don't appreciate what we have, we lose those things we have. So we can't take things for granted. But guess what? Everybody takes things for granted. How do you protect yourself against taking things for granted? Well, you purposely, on purpose, intentionally work on being grateful daily. If you work on that list of being grateful daily, you're not going to mess up and be ungrateful about something in your life. So your life's going to start working out so much better. Really plain simple. It is magical, but it makes sense. It's science. It just makes sense. So going a little bit about me, take it for granted my family, take it for granted my freedom, take it for granted the place I lived, everything, all the material things, take it for granted the love, the care, the spirituality, who I am, my talents, everything I have learned in my life, everything I have been through, all the opportunities where I saved myself from all these problems and death and all these things and famine and disease and drug addiction, whatever you want to call it, all these things that I had already skipped in my life. I took them for granted. I took for granted my talents and the love of God for me, the family and the blessings that I have that a lot of people envy. So I took it for granted. So guess what? I had to lose it. Luckily, I only lost it for a brief period, right? I lost it for a brief period. And I want to say I immediately woke up. I immediately woke up to who I was supposed to be. One of the first realizations I had was like, you know what? I'm going against who I'm supposed to be. And that's why I'm having such a hard time. I'm not facing who I'm supposed to be. I'm not being my better self. And I know that. And that's how I ended up here. But then it took me about a month to stop blaming others and start focusing and being responsible for the things that I've done. The minute I did that, it's just everything just switched. It's just changed. I was a lot happier. Things were, like it's like I was stuck in a room with no real light, only artificial light. But then again, my life was sunny, right? I was happy. I was able to achieve happiness in one of the most unhappy places in the world, in existence, right? Where my freedom was taken away physically, but my freedom was given to me spiritually, mentally, right? That's super important because that's where happiness starts. The moment that you realize realize and you remember that, whoa, happiness is up to me, and it's here. I can take happiness with me everywhere I go, even to the worst places. That's the power of the way of thinking. That's the power of that whole saying of change your thinking, you will change your life. So yes, definitely once I lost everything, I was forced to start thinking smart, right? To start taking responsibility for my actions, to realize my mistakes, and to embark in the mission that I've been living for the past 6 years. The mission of growth, of self-growth, of becoming a better version of myself, of realizing my mistakes and not making them anymore, wanting to make changes, being responsible, having some self-control, right? Letting go of addictions, letting go of bad habits, right? And I'm telling you this, guys, no one's perfect. If you let go of one habit, you're going to get another one. That's the way life is, because you have to deal with your flesh. Your body, your flesh wants things. It wants self-gratification, right? It wants that's the love for the flesh. Well, your soul wants something else. Your soul wants a steady relationship. It wants family, somebody to love. It wants charity and somebody to give to. It wants learning. It wants development. That's what your soul wants. What does your body want? Your body wants all those carnal pleasures, starting with food, sex, and self-gratification, our ego. Our ego is important because your ego allows you to survive. The moment you lose your ego, you will die. Because the reason why we eat is self-gratification, right? The reason why we take is self-gratification. The reason why we hustle is because we want something, right, in return. That's the reason why we go to work. So in the end, ego, self-gratification, greed, all those elements are healthy in the right balance, in the healthy amount of ego to survive, the healthy amount of greed to survive and to push forward. And we can call that ambition. We can call that the desire to growth, right? To become a better version of yourself, but not in the greed in the way that you're going to take whatever you want. I don't care who I hurt, right? That's the wrong greed. That you may win a lot of money or get whatever you want in the moment, but in the end, you will pay that back and it will hurt, right? So that's what we want to stay away from. So the battle that human beings we have is just kind of like maintaining that balance and discovering what is the right way to live. And it involves a lot of balance. So anyways, without getting off topic, gratitude played an important part in my life to get on this mission to become the better version of myself, to appreciate my wife, my kids, my family, to appreciate the job I had and the people that helped me my whole life, my parents, my siblings, those people that look out for me, all that advice and all those consejos, everybody telling me, don't make this mistake, don't do this, all the times I should have listened. Everything flashes before you, and you realize, you know what? I'm going to start being grateful. So, during that time, I was able to read a lot, which is something that I've always done and I love to do, right? Not because someone forces me to, but because I love learning. So I love reading, right? And I've been through so many different phases and so many different steps in my life that make me who I am today. So I want to say that I'm well-rounded. I've read different things, right? Let's just put it that way. So right there, there was a couple of people like me. People who like to read, people who enjoy reading, right? So we were able to trade books. We were able to exchange information and knowledge. And I remember that thirst that I had and that thirst that people had, like, hey, what you reading, man? When you finish that, can I get that book? And we were able to trade. So I was able to read different things. And there was various books that I really enjoyed. But there's two things that I enjoyed the most was books about Buddhism. So Buddhist books, that stuff is amazing for your mindset. It really is liberating. Okay. It's really liberating. And the other one, another book that was amazing to me and I was able to read and do all the exercises and everything was The Magic. Okay. The book, The Magic, it's like the second book after The Secret. It involves the law of attraction, but it's focused on the magic of gratitude. And that's what this video is about today. That's what we're talking here about. It's the powerful effects of living a grateful life. And it starts explaining everything I talked to you guys about, like being grateful for those bills and those things that sometimes you're hard to be grateful. Like, hey, I'm grateful that somehow you ended in the hospital, right? I don't know, right? Thank God an accident didn't happen, right? Thank God I got a flat tire. I was able to pull to the side. Thank God I got a ticket today when I was speeding and it wasn't a deadly accident and I'm dead now, right? Like, you just got to start being creative and thinking about all the reasons why you should be grateful. right? I'm grateful for my kids. I'm grateful for my wife. I'm grateful for my parents. I'm grateful for my friends. I'm grateful for my coworkers, my bosses, my job, my employment, this country, the economic system. I'm grateful for everything, right? I'm grateful for the data on my phone, for the internet, for the Wi-Fi. Imagine you had no network all of a sudden. Think about this panic mode, right? Let's say you're somewhere hiking far away or you're driving out and all of a sudden you lose reception and you have no clue where you're going. Think of that. You're in the middle of nowhere and you have no GPS, no reception, and you have no idea how to either get back or get where you're going, right? So that's pretty crazy, right? So we take for granted the fact that we are, hey, where are we going? Okay, we're going here, boom. Let me put in the GPS, boom, there you go. There's follow the directions, here I am. And it not only gets you where you want to get, but it gets you like the fastest route, right? So there's so many things that we take for granted, right? Water. What happens when there is what do you call it, a drought, right? How many of us have actually experienced a real drought, right? And it's always like, ooh, don't waste too much water at this time, right? Do you know there's countries where there is no water for days, or the water is limited, right? Like, okay, you'll have water from the morning time until about noon, and then the water goes away. So you have to fill up, big buckets or barrels of water to have for the remainder of the day. Somebody wants to shower, if you want to wash dishes or whatever, wash your hands, your face, whatever you can use water for. You need to fill up reservoirs in your home to have water. So there's no running water all day. Why? Because they need to maintain that resource. So think about it this way. But here we live in America. Hey, we're enjoying water all the time, right? Not only that, hey, let me put on the hot water and take a warm bath. You know how much people in the world cannot take a warm bath? And you're over here, taking water for granted, right? Some people have to drink water from wells, drink water from rivers, drink waters from those reservoirs that I'm talking about, from barrels from home. And you have a bottle of water for $1 or less if you buy a case. A case of 24 waters for $3.99, and we take that for granted. It's plain simple. So, we live in a world where we take things for granted. Life goes really fast. We take for granted everything, right? What happened if there was no gas, right? If your car's electric, what happens if there was no electricity, right? What happens is if there was no jobs, right? If your place closed down. What happens if you had no money, no food, no shelter, no drink? So you need to be grateful for those things. Be intentional, make your list, start being grateful for the things, so that can help you not to be ungrateful for them. And you can start manifesting those things that you want. So everything on your vision board, New Year's resolutions, goals and dreams and visions, aspirations, even if they're only in your mind, even if you haven't put them on paper yet, which I recommend that you do as soon as possible. You talk about them, put them on your vision board, whatever it is, really obsess about them, really make them come to life, right? I please be grateful for those things as soon as possible. And I promise you that you're going to start seeing miracles happen before you, and your life will start changing. And that's going to be one of the greatest ways that you can get what you want in life. By being grateful as much as you can, grateful to God, to your loved ones, everything. Be grateful as much as you can, and you're going to start leading a life where you're going to get to the path that you're going to get to. And sometimes you're going to be lost for a second. You're not going to know what's next, but trust me, you're going to be able to figure it out. You're going to be able. Each move that you make is going to get you to your goal and your destiny. But make sure that you live a life of gratitude. So that's all I have for you guys today. Let's see what we're going to talk about tomorrow. I know I had some thoughts. There's a lot of good things that ran my mind yesterday, and gratitude was one of them. So that's what we're talking about it today. But we're going to be talking about some more development, some more the skills that you guys can use to make things happen. We all have different missions. We all have different things in mind. So that's why I like to be very open, very general in what I give you guys, so that hopefully these words that you can use to, like, okay, this is what I need to hear. Boom, let me get to work. Let me get to my destiny. So again, go to my website, winwiththecoach.com, so you can see what I'm about. If you're interested in talking to me personally, hit my DM, private message me on Messenger. I'm available. I can get on a call with you. I can listen to you out. I can listen you to what you have to say, what you want to express. If you need any more of this material on one-on-one, I'm happy to share with you as well. And then also, I'm happy to guide you guys to mentors and things, people you can follow that you can start learning a lot of these things. Okay. So, whatever it is that you're working on, don't give up. Just make sure that you continue being grateful for it. And I'm sure that you're going to succeed. So, that's all I have for you guys today. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace.